Colin O'Grady is Daniel Jones, the week 1 starter for the Colts. It seems likely at this point, even though Anthony Richardson has said that he'll be ready to go to start training camp, and that contradicts what Coach Shane Steichen said after Richardson's latest shoulder injury, that he'll be back at some point, which implies he won't be back at the beginning of training camp. I think it's going to be Jones. Look, is Richardson going to stay healthy? Jones was good enough to earn a second contract. Say what you will about Daniel Jones. And there's a lot of shit that people say about Daniel Jones. He earned a second contract. He took the Giants to the playoffs. He beat the Vikings in Minnesota. When he's healthy and when he's effective, and when he has a decent offensive line, he can be a good enough quarterback. I think he's going to be the week 1 starter. Matthew Harding, how do J.C. Tretter and Lloyd Howell survive the information uncovered by you and Pablo Torre? That's a great question. I don't know. It all depends upon how engaged the player leadership is. What does the executive committee think about the fact that this was hidden from them? What are the player representatives? There's one per team, and there's alternates, 1 or 2 or 3 alternates per team. What do they think about the fact that this was hidden? What do the agents think about it, and what will the agents do about it? What will the agents do to stir up crap, to try to prompt change at the top of the union? But I look at it this way. If it's true that the union hid this in order to protect J.C. Tretter from the embarrassment of being outed as someone who criticized Russell Wilson, now we know he criticized Russell Wilson. And now we know that this thing was hidden. And now it may compromise the ability of other players to try to pursue their rights. I've said in the past, there was probably a 10-day period back in 2014 that Roger Goodell went to bed at night wondering if the next day was the day he was going to have to resign as commissioner after the Ray Rice case came to a full boil. If I'm J.C. Tretter and Lloyd Howell, I'm going to bed every night for the foreseeable future wondering if tomorrow's the day I have to pack up my stuff and go. I just am. I'm not saying they need to be fired. It's not my decision. But, it comes down to the player leadership, and they've done a good job of weaponizing player apathy against the collective union of players. They were able to push through some changes to the Constitution and do a hiring process that culminated in Lloyd Howell getting the job a couple of years ago in secret with the players not knowing what was going on, and nobody seemed to care. That's really the question. Do the players care? Do they care? Based upon some of the things I heard yesterday, I think some of them do. Do enough care to really get to the bottom of what happened. And part of it also is, if you manipulate it the right way, the players feel like they're being questioned, and their pride then becomes an issue. How dare you question us? You're making us look bad. So if we would move on from Howell and or Tretter, we look bad because we entrusted them with these positions in the first place. They could circle the wagons here. I don't know. Jordan Davey, who could potentially set a new precedent with a fully guaranteed contract? Lamar Jackson, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud. Owners can't hide with the collusion grievance findings now out and available to the players. That's going to be an interesting point. And the first guy up, well, Lamar technically is up now. And the Ravens need to get his contract extended because he's got a $75 million cap charge next year. He's got a $75 million cap charge the following year. It's going to be impossible to franchise tag him after this contract expires because of and when I say 75 million, I mean next year, 26, and 75 million the year after that, 27. And then the contract expires. The franchise tag number would be 89 million based upon the current cap number for 2027. They need to extend this deal. And you know what? Why not give him a fully guaranteed contract? This is the point I've been waiting to make, and I'm glad that the planets have lined up that I can remember it and do it. Typically, for a franchise quarterback, he declares himself early in his career as a franchise quarterback, and he remains a franchise quarterback until he retires. Someone told me years ago, there's no reason to cut a franchise quarterback. You're never going to do it, so there's no reason to have a guaranteed contract. Franchise quarterback that signs for 7 years is not going to be cut. You think Patrick Mahomes is going to be cut? Do we think Josh Allen is going to be cut? Is Lamar Jackson going to be cut? The thing that makes this whole Deshaun Watson thing so strange, he's the first guy to get the 5-year fully guaranteed contract, and he's the last guy that should have gotten it. It's been a disaster for the Browns. So now if you're willing to put the money in escrow, and I think that there was hesitation from the Ravens, but why would there be hesitation? Because the league doesn't want us to do this. Because the league doesn't want fully guaranteed contracts to spread. But if anybody on a team can be justified in having a fully guaranteed contract, it's a franchise quarterback. Because a franchise quarterback is always going to stay a franchise quarterback. A franchise quarterback isn't suddenly going to forget how to play. A franchise quarterback is going to continue to be among the elite players in the NFL for all of his career. The Chiefs could fully guarantee Mahomes' deal. The Ravens could fully guarantee Josh Allen's deal. The Bengals could fully guarantee... What in the world? Why am I blanking on Joe Burrow's name, for crying out loud? I'm so cranked up, I'm forgetting the names of some of the best players in the game. Lamar Jackson. He could get a fully guaranteed contract. There aren't many. CJ Stroud, fully guaranteed contract. We're all watching. We're all paying attention. What are you going to do, Cal McNair? What are you going to do, Nick Caserio, after CJ Stroud's third regular season ends? Are you going to give him a fully guaranteed contract? Are they going to continue to hold the rope now that we know they're holding the rope? Or will they be emboldened? It's very possible they'll become even more blatant. Hell, they already caught us. They caught us colluding. And they found that we didn't. Let's keep colluding. This could get very interesting. But at some point, one of these teams just needs to say, screw it. We're doing our own thing. If the league doesn't like it, that's their problem. We got a quarterback that we're going to keep. We'll go ahead and guarantee his contract because we know he's going to be the guy that we want to have around for the foreseeable future. One last point. And I keep forgetting to bring people want to see the trading cards. I keep forgetting to bring them down. Two things real quickly, because I got something in 5 minutes that I have to do. One, Skip Bittman. What happened to the Sunday ticket lawsuit? They want $378 to renew for returning customers. Look, that's on appeal. Last year, right around to the day, $4 billion plus verdict. It would have been tripled if it was an official final order from the court. The court instead threw out the entire amount. The NFL is appealing the finding that the Sunday ticket pricing is an antitrust violation by the league. The plaintiffs are appealing the fact that they proved antitrust, but they got no damages. And for now, the league has done nothing to change the pricing. The idea that we have to charge an exorbitant price for Sunday ticket to discourage people from buying it so they'll choose to watch the games that are available in their local markets on CBS and Fox. That's what that case is all about. The NFL put both thumbs, both wrists, and both elbows on the scale for Sunday ticket to protect CBS and Fox. And they tried to find a sweet spot where you would have people who were scared off from getting Sunday ticket, even though they'd rather not watch the game that's on for free in their local market. They don't want to pay the money. So we overprice it to scare those people away. That's what it's all about. And the NFL hasn't changed. They're facing potentially staggering liability going forward. But they believe the ace in the hole is the U.S. Supreme Court. I think they believe if they get to the Supreme Court, they'll win. And it's just a matter of being patient and paying the monthly invoices to the law firms that are representing their interests in order to get that ruling. Last one. Paul. I'll just go with Paul. I can't make out the last name, and then I got to go. Do you think networks should have to display the records of pundits that push out those sucker bet parlays? I got a lot I can say about this, and it's kind of good. I'm up against the hard out. But I've been meaning to write something, and I'm reading a book now, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's about the whole gambling explosion and what it does to people. And I have it right here, Losing Big by Jonathan D. Cohen. I'm going to write something about it after I finish it. But there were some things that happened in recent weeks that really convinced me we should have some sort of regulation of the media companies that are in bed with the sports books. And I know NBC has a deal with DraftKings, and I know that we do DraftKings rigs on PFT Live. You see no gambling ads. I have no deal with gambling, and I'm never going to have one. But there needs to be some regulation because I think there are some issues that are potentially detrimental to the consumer. So that's for another day. For now, I will tell you farewell. Thanks as always for some of your time. We'll be back on Thursday with another all-new edition of PFT PM. Until then, check us out around the clock at profootballtalk.com. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.